morning, Sally Chiwuzie here, the owner and founder of Unshakable, the brand. You know the motto, unshakable is a state of mind. Take your state of mind with you everywhere you go. Be unshakable, be in truth with yourself, love yourself. Welcome to another episode of Chronicles of Unshakable Truths. And today we're going to be talking about what it means to be unshakable. So I'll just give you a little bit of a background as to how I've come to be sitting on Louise's couch. And then I'll tell you, and then, yeah, we'll go from there. So this is Louise, by the way. Louise, say hello.
Hello.
I'm in Louise's house because it's a Friday morning. And believe it or not, even though we look so casual and chilled, we have battered our legs this morning. Gym day. We've just finished from the gym, so we just went past Tesco's, and I'm not done with mine. Yeah. So we've had our protein shake while we crawled back home, and now we are having coffee. So yeah, we've been to the gym together this morning, and now we're just having a little bit of a relaxing morning.
Well deserved.
I think so. So in a minute, I'm going to hand over to Louise because earlier, just before we started recording, we were talking about what it might mean to be unshakable. And Louise had some really interesting ideas. So yeah, Louise.
Okay. So really, for me, the first time I saw Unshakable, like I can't remember whether I knew you first before I knew the brand, or I knew the brand. I can't remember. It's a chicken and egg situation. But the first time I saw Unshakable, it was there. It was bold. It was in your face, and I thought, okay, I might want to get into this. Got some Unshakable gear. And I think I like muted colors, or I used to like muted colors because we're evolving, right? So I wanted, like, have you got blues, kind of dark blue type? And Sally said, well, we have red. And I'm like, oh, okay, maybe not red. And she said, what about yellow? I'm like, okay, I think I'll go back to red. But I think all of the Unshakable stuff I bought at first was white. So it had the white logo.
The logo, yeah.
Yeah, so the white, the hoodie with the white logo, and then the visor with the white logo, and then the sweatband with the white logo. So everything was basically white. And then
until I ran out, right? Or
and
something.
So you ran out of something, and then so I asked. I said, "Well, what about red?" And you said, "Oh, I've got yellow." And I thought, "Oh gosh, no, not yellow, not yellow." But I went for yellow.
Why? Because yellow was too bright.
I thought yellow was too bright too. But I went for yellow, and I really liked it. I really, really liked it. So I got the yellow leggings, and I got the yellow visor, and I got the yellow jumper as well. Yeah. So I think for me, Unshakable is here. It's bold. It's where you're stood. It's where you need to be. It's where you want to be. And I think for me, the brand also, when I look at you, I feel I used to be the sort of person who would wait until all of my ducks are lined up in a row and ready to go before I strike out. But when I met you, you were like, well, let's do it. And then we'll learn on the way. We'll learn on the job. Yeah.
We'll rearrange the ducks.
Exactly. We will arrange the ducks, rearrange them, but let's start.
Set up new choreography for the ducks.
Absolutely. If you have to move the goalposts, then we will move them. But
sometimes one of the ducks is a pigeon.
Sometimes one of the ducks looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, but it is a pigeon. Yeah. So I think that was it really. For me, that was it really. And I think that's sort of where I wanted to be, and where I thought I'd like to be that. And I think I'm learning. It's a painful process. It's a slow process, but I'm learning to.
Why is it painful?
It's painful because that's not how I was in the beginning. I'm more of the, oh gosh, no, we can't start until everything is perfect. A bit of a perfectionist in that sense. But I've kind of learned that that's not life really, isn't it? So life is what happens is everything that happens while you're getting to your goal, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, so for me it was let's just start. And I've actually found that that's a really nice place to be. It's been hard, and I've had to speak to myself to get into that groove, but it's a really nice place to be. It's a fantastic place to be.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. So basically, from what you said, is I like the bit about standing right in the center. So I think I've used that quite a lot. That that particular tagline where I say to be unshakable means to stand even in the middle of the wilderness and own the whole damn place.
Own the place. Own the place.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
like a boss.
yeah, exactly. So it's like taking control of whatever situation is going on in your life. So yes, you might be wobbly, and yes, imperfect, and yes, unsure, but just do it anyway, and just like
Yes.
own the what's the word? Unsureness? Is that even a
Whatever it is, own it. Well, I think as women, especially,
Yeah.
I think we judge ourselves very, very harshly, and yeah, I think we judge ourselves very, very harshly. Whereas if somebody else does the same thing, we're able to kind of give them a pat on the back and give them a hug and say, "You'll be okay, you'll be fine," and you really believe it when you're saying to the other person, "You'll be okay, you'll be fine." But sometimes we're not that kind to ourselves.
So we need to give ourselves
So
grace.
we need to give ourselves grace, and I think Unshakable does encapsulate that as well. It's giving yourself grace. You might feel wobbly, but you are you. And if you think about it, throughout your history, you've been the only constant. So even
Well, not me personally. She doesn't mean me. She
Well, I
means
mean-
you as in
you as in the generic you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the generic you, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So I'll use myself for an example. So in my whole life and in my whole existence, situations have come, situations have gone, things have happened, the good, the bad, the ugly, the really, really ugly. But in all of it, I've been the constant in my life. So it's my story. It's my show. So you're the star of the show.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Literally, there's power in that. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's my story, it's my show, and I own it. And I think once you begin to own it, it doesn't really matter, what happens there, what happens here. Life is what happens when you're trying to get to wherever it is you're going to, and it's everything in between. And basically, that's you. That's your whole existence. I don't know that anybody will ever be perfect. Yeah, but whilst you're trying to get to the perfect you or the very, very best version of you, life is everything that happens in between. And that is the unshakable truth, and that's kind of what you need to own, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So while you're waiting for everything to happen, life is everything. Being on. Sorry. You say that again. Let her say it like she says it best.
Oh gosh, I've forgotten.
Life is everything that happens. So
while you're trying to get to your goal, life is everything that happens in between. Everything that happens in between here and that goal. There is life. Yeah.
Yes.
So if you're ever going to be perfection is the very, very ultimate. It's the last thing you will be. Before you get there, life is everything that happens in between.
Yeah. And along that journey, when you're trying to get from here to here, where, the end goal is, being unshakable is taking it one step at a time, right? So it's growth.
Yes.
And it's being the best version of yourself in existence at every point in time.
And a lot of times it's baby steps as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of times it's baby steps.
Yeah.
I know that we train, right? And I know that that in training, it's not necessarily the effort you're putting in today. It's the consistency. Yeah. So it's a little bit today, a little bit tomorrow, a little bit the day after. But it's that consistency is what actually makes you. Yeah.
Actually, can you remember when we ran the London Marathon? Yep, we totally did that.
We did, 2024.
And we kept on reading in places that even that on the day, it's not even, the race doesn't happen on the day. So the race is everything.
It's everything that happens before. So the training, the sweat, the tears, the literal tears.
Literal, yes, exactly.
All of the injuries, everything that happens, the hydration, the nutrition, the sleep, the enforced sleep, because Sally made sure that I slept for 8 hours every day.
Yes.
Believe it or not,
yes,
she did.
She did, yes.
So it's all of that. That's the actual marathon.
Yeah.
What you do on the day is your victory lap.
Yeah, absolutely.
So and that was how I ran it with that in mind. I got there and I thought, wow, this is London. This is my city. This is my victory lap.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And do you know? So basically, of course, the marathon might not be everyone's cup of tea, and that's fair enough. But for us who did it, it's a testament to us being unshakable, because it wasn't just the training that happened to us in between. we had a lot of hiccups. So we had work issues, we had
Yeah.
family issues, we had, not getting in too personal, but for example, I lost two friends, if you remember, in a week.
Yes,
One of
yes,
whom was
yes.
like a really good friend.
Mutual friends. Yeah, one was a mutual friend. Yes.
So we lost Kelly, and then we lost Chuchu.
Yeah.
And sorry, this isn't about grief. It's not about the grief, but what I guess what I'm trying to get at is life will never pause for you. So life doesn't say,
Oh, I
"Do you
like
know
that.
what?"
Oh, I like that. Life will never
Life
pause
will
for
never
you. I
pause
like
for
that.
you.
Yes.
Do you know? So life is not going to say, "Do you know what? Louise and Sally are training for a marathon, so let's give them a break."
Yeah.
Oh no,
no. Life throws everything it throws. When it throws, it
I
doesn't
think
get.
sometimes it gets worse. It's like, okay, we're gonna challenge you. Like you want to do the marathon, so let's throw in a bit of grief. See how you handle that. Let's
Yeah.
throw in a bit of work stress. Let's just
Throw a little
literally
home stress.
Yeah, put a spanner in the works
Yes.
every other day. And see how you get on with it. So I think an unshakable woman, an unshakable person, basically would is about how you handle these things.
I think
Yeah.
so. I think so. And to be fair, it doesn't mean that you're not going to wobble a little bit. It doesn't mean you wobble. Sometimes you take a tumble. But you know what? You get up and you keep going. Because I remember your mantra used to be, "Oh, the marathon's not going to run itself."
Yeah,
We have to
it
train.
didn't.
Yeah, it didn't. Exactly. We had to train.
Yeah.
And that is life as well. Like, my life is not going to live itself.
Yeah.
And I think being unshakable means that you're not standing on the periphery and being a passenger in your own life. You're
I
driving
love that. Yeah, gosh, look
it.
at
And why
us.
today we're on fire? I think it was the
Pearls of
gym.
wisdom.
I think it was the gym.
Yes, I'm going to run before, or I'm going to gym before every session if this is what we're going to get.
Yeah. So you're not kind of sitting there and being a passenger in your own life, because so a lot of times, sometimes that can happen where
Yeah.
things are happening and beyond your control, and you're just sitting down there thinking, okay, what else is going to happen next, and you're being tossed around to and fro. But being unshakable is actually taking the reins, as it were, no matter how in control you are of those reins. I mean, that's neither here nor there. But you're not. But most importantly is that you're not a passenger in your life. You are making decisions, baby steps even.
Yeah.
No matter how seemingly little those decisions are, they're decisions anyway. It might be just a decision to get out of bed and look at yourself in the mirror. You need hope just to do that.
Oh, yeah.
By the way.
Yeah.
It might be that. It might be, right, today I'm not going to let this get me down. I'm going to go for a walk. Baby steps. But I think being unshakable to me means a lot of that as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And well, this year for me, the marathon has
Yeah.
taught me so many things. And I think, these particular things that I've talked about, these is to that sometimes you have to plan for the things. So most times life throws you curveballs and you
Of
don't
course.
see them. Like
Yes.
I read somewhere that being an adult is like looking left and right before you cross the road and getting hit by an airplane. So
Absolutely right. I like that.
yeah.
Absolutely right. Yeah.
So sometimes it's like that, but for other times, you actually know. So I'm talking about the fact that Chuchu's funeral was a day before the marathon.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And it was so painful and so emotional. So Louise and I sat down and prepared ourselves for it. So we knew we had to keep on top of our hydration.
Yep. We cried most of it away. Though. We cried most of the hydration away. But nonetheless, I went with my Lucozade.
Yes.
We went with our electrolytes.
We did, yes. So it was planning, and we're like, we have to top up. We have to make sure,
And we had to eat our carbs as well,
we
because
had
it was
to
the
eat
day
our
before.
Eat our carbs, make sure that's on point. So, sometimes about planning ahead of these disasters, right? Like, so you expect them to happen, so you know how you're going to handle it, and coping mechanisms, actually. I know we're
Yeah.
going quite a lot into this, but yeah,
Yeah,
let's go
we're going
for
to
it.
have to break it down at some stage in the future. But yes.
So yeah, that's where we are. We did run the marathon successfully. So Louise was ahead of me. But yeah, I did finish.
Of course
Well,
you
I
finished.
made
You
it
always
to
need to finish
the-
Unshakable
I
Woman.
made it to the finish line. So yeah, I think that's it. Is there anything else that's?
I just
you
wanted to
think?
just quickly talk about the planning as
Okay,
well.
yeah.
I'm a planner, as you can tell.
I'm not always,
Yeah.
but I'm trying. I'm learning.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, no, I'm the planner, and that's why I say I want all my ducks lined up very, very neatly in a row before I do anything. So I'm having to say to myself, it's okay not to have all the ducks lined up in a row, because some of them might be pigeons. There might be
Yes.
one or two
Yeah.
pigeons in there.
Yeah.
But in any case, I think that the planning, I think if whatever you're able to take control over, do it. And do it as well as you can. For the marathon, there was nothing. There was no surprises, because nothing new happened on race day.
Yeah, no.
Everything that we wore, we'd worn it before race day. Everything, all of the nutrition, all of the way we carried our water bottles, we practiced everything. So I knew every 4 miles I was taking it. I was going to take a gel. I was going to take an electrolyte. So you plan it, and those are the things that you're able to plan. Things that we couldn't plan, like we didn't plan how cold it was going to be on that day.
Yes,
It was practically freezing.
It was.
It was so cold, I was not sweating.
Well, I did sweat.
You
so
did.
I always
You
sweat.
always sweat. Yeah,
Yeah.
you always sweat. I don't. But it's just those sorts of things. Anything that you're able to plan, go ahead and plan it. And then whatever you're not able to plan, I think that sort of prepares you for things that you are not able to plan but happen anyway, because you're very, very sure in the things that you've planned, and and where you stand.
Yeah.
When other things happen, because you've kind of centered yourself in a way if you've planned stuff.
Yeah, that's perfect, and I think that's a perfect way to sum it up, really. So just whatever you do, planned, unplanned, it's all about growth. But sometimes growth is painful. It's all about continuous improvement. Sometimes there's shockers along the way. It's all about standing firm within those shockers. It's not about being perfect. It's about allowing yourself to be. Allowing yourself to just be. Yeah. So Louise and I are here, sitting down, having our coffee. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you. Lovely cup of coffee. I'm having mine with a bit of honey in it. In our Unshakable loungewear. So we're
that's
swimming
right.
today.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, if you like it, I'll tell you where to get it. But yes, thank you for sticking around. I hope you found this enlightening, insightful, and yeah, maybe you've picked up something or the other. Maybe you've had a light bulb moment. I don't know. Let me know if you haven't subscribed. Please do. There'll be many more of these coming up in future. You will see Louise again, because I've quite enjoyed this, and yeah, she's stuck with me, should I say? So yeah, I feature
Sally, you're good people's.
quite a bit in her life. So I'll finish on that note. Thank you. See you guys very soon. You know the motto. I'm going to always leave you with this. I'm going to have everyone chanting this at some point, I'm sure. Unshakable is a state of mind. Take your state of mind with you everywhere you go. Be unshakable. Be in truth with yourself. Love yourself. Thank you. Bye.
I think that was good.